Hi, I'm following along with Paul McWhorter's Fusion 360 lessons, and today he's talking about one of my favorite features of Fusion 360, and it's parametric design. So our homework for today was to revisit our eyeglass case we made a month or so ago, and use parametric design on it. And pretty good project to work with. So let's go ahead and get to the Fusion 360. So I didn't want to bore you guys with me typing stuff in the boxes here. So I went right to our user parameters, and I've entered 9 user parameters that we have. So you got length and width of your box, and then it's a 2-piece box. So you got a bottom height and a top height, wall thickness, the corner radius of that. And like I said, it's got like an overlapping sliding lap on it. So I got the lap thickness and then the lap height. And then the gap is the space in between the two sliding parts so that they fit together good. So that's my user parameters to get this going. So okay, there. Move myself over. All right, let's get going. So we're going to start our sketch. And we're going to start with a rectangle. This is usually, I don't like doing the dimensions in place, so I'm going to hit escape and then D for dimension. And then we're going to make this box length. And enter. And this is going to be box width. Enter. All right, so there's our box. All right, and then we're going to add some corner radiuses to it. I usually don't like adding corner radiuses to sketches. I'd rather do it to solid objects, but in this case, if it works, it's going to be good. So I have some trouble with it working sometimes. Get some warnings and everything else. So let's do this. See, I'm already getting warnings. Let's see if it's going to work for me. All right, and we want to fill this in. So we want this to be corner radius. Put that in there and hit enter. And it does say that it's a FX. So it looks like it changed it for me. So I guess we're good there. All right. So the next thing we need to do is we need to put some offsets in. So we're going to use our offset tool. And first thing we're going to do is create our gap. So all we need to do is put in here gap. And hit enter. All right. And then we're going to do it again. This time we're going to put our gap plus our lap thickness. Lap 2. All right. Hit enter again. Get it all black. We're all constrained. We're good. Believe it or not, that's all the sketching we're going to need to do for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out the sketch. Get her to home. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the inside part of this. So we're going to make our basic box, and then we're going to add the sliding parts at the end. So let's go ahead. We're going to go extrude. We're going to extrude just the center part. And since it's going up, we'll do the top first. So we'll say top height. And it's going to be a new body. We're good. So our sketch goes off. We're going to do unsketch, sketch. I am going to turn off that top body for a second. And I'm going to take that part. This time we're going to E for extrude, but we need to go in a negative direction. Even though we're using parameters, you got to go negative, and then it's bottom height. All right, so it goes down. And you can see that's all we need to do for that. And this is also a new body. Hit OK. And then now you got two bodies. We can turn both of them on. Like I said, we don't have any lap yet. This is just the basic shape. But then what I want to do is I do want to take these shapes and I want to use the shell command to shell them out. So let me turn the sketch off. I'm going to use the shell command. I'm going to shell it and we're going to shell it to wall thickness. Okay. And that shelled that one and you hit OK. And we can turn this one off and this one on, spin it over a little bit. If you want to see where your cut plane is, you can turn that back on so you know that you're on the right plane. I'm going to shell. We're going to shell this out to wall thickness as well. All right, all done with that. All right. So since we got the top still here, we're showing, we might as well go ahead and start with that one. We'll turn our sketch back on and scroll in here a little bit. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to get the gap plus the shell. So we're going to extrude. We're going to do the slider thickness plus that. So we're getting both of those. And what we're doing is we're extruding it, but we're not going to a distance. We're going to an object because that can change. So we're going to say to this, select the object. All right. And this is a join. So, okay. So we're good. Okay. Now that's just the top. Now we also want to pull the bottom out. Or we want the outside of our sleeve. We want it to, so we want to extrude it. This time we don't want to grab the gap. So we just want to grab this. You see the arrows going up. So we know this is going to be a negative. And this one is going to be a negative lap height. And that brings it down. So there you go. It looks right. And that's also a join. So we're going to say, okay. And that looks like we got it, what we want. We got the little ridge in there where we want to join them. All right. So we're going to leave the sketch on, but we're going to turn this body off and turn this body on. And we got to do something similar to this one, but this one, remember you have this part and then it gets thick. So we have to do that a little bit different. So what we want to do is we do want to extrude. And we want to grab both of them again. So you scroll until you get them, and then you want to pick that one and this one. Now they're both blue. And then the start is what we want to change. We don't want to start. We want to go to offset. And like I say, it's going up, so we need to have a negative here as well. So our offset's going to be negative, but we're using our parameter, so it's a negative lap height. All right, so that's where it's going to start. And we don't want distance. Again, we want to go to the object and we want to pick that object, which is the bottom of our thing. Go here. And there you go. And that's also a join. Sometimes Fusion kind of confuses you the way it flips things around on you, but that's the way it looks. You can always turn this one back on to see what they're doing, but yeah. So we're joining these two together now. You don't want to leave that other one on or you'll join them all together. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to say, okay. And we can turn this off. We can turn this one back on. Let's go home. And we have our case. We should be able to move this out of the way. Let's see. Pick this. You should be able to see inside of it. Got our case. Got that part of it. And we're all done. I'm going to cancel out of this so it goes back the way it was. So now for the cool part. So that's an eyeglass case. But guess what? All we got to do is change some parameters and we can turn this into a parts box or something like that. So let's change this to a parts box. So we're going to say, we're going to make it 6 inches wide by 4 inches deep. We're going to make it 2 inches to the bottom, 2 inches deep, the bottom part of it. I'm going to do this lap pipe well. We're going to only make this a 1/4 inch, 0.25. Our lap pipe. You don't need a real big lap on that. The wall thickness can stay the same. The top, let's go to just a 1/2 inch on that, 0.5 on that too. Thickness is good. Thickness is good. The gap should still be good. So let's see what we ended up with. We didn't change the corner radiuses, but we can change that as well. There we go. Now we got a 4x6 box, parts box, just by changing the parameters. Let's see what happens. Trying to make it, we'll get it over here so we can try to move this. Sometimes this move doesn't want to work right, but that's okay. This time it did. There you go. You got a box lid with just a little lip on it. Same on the bottom. And that's 4x6. You can print it out and make your parts. You ended up with a part that was 7 inches long. All you got to do is go in and change that length parameter, and you can put a 7-inch part in there. Anyhow, I'm gonna cancel out of this. That's all I got for today. Just showing what I'm doing. Thanks, Paul, for all you do. I love your lessons. Have a good day.